We're now 74 hours away from the first executions in Arkansas in 12 years. A highly anticipated and possibly game-changing ruling could come down any minute from a federal judge deciding whether these 7 executions can proceed before the drugs expire. Plus, the previous track record of Jacksonville's new police chief has some in that city concerned. And the road to a better community leads to a ranch in Saline County that's all about second chances. How this facility is helping young men aging out of foster care.
This is THV11 News at 5.
7 death row inmates continuing efforts to stop their scheduled executions that are set to begin in just days. Today, new court filings. The inmates want the state Supreme Court to halt the executions while the U.S. Supreme Court takes up their request to reconsider their decision to not weigh in on a ruling that upheld the state's lethal injection law. Complicated legal maneuvers, but still we wait on a federal judge to decide whether one of the lethal injection drugs, midazolam, is cruel and unusual punishment. 2 pharmaceutical companies joined the push last night, asking the judge to prevent Arkansas from using its drugs in lethal injections. Well, the Arkansas Coalition to Abolish the Death Penalty is also using every effort to stop the executions. And THV11's Erica Parando tells us hundreds gathered at the state capitol today.
The group made their presence known at the Capitol today in an effort to stop what they're calling assembly line executions. People came from all over the country, including some familiar faces.
What do we want? Mercy!
Just a few days.
When do we want it?
Now! Stand between this rally on the steps of the Capitol.
Governor Hutchinson, take off your political helmet for this occasion. Brother Hutchinson, put on your spiritual helmet.
And the first of 7 scheduled executions in Arkansas. Damian Eccles from West Memphis, who served 18 years on death row, paid a visit.
I didn't want to come back, but when I heard about the conveyor belt of death that the politicians were trying to set in motion, I guess I knew that I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't come back and try to do something.
Bringing his friend, actor Johnny Depp.
They almost put an innocent man to death, as we know.
The rally came with some backlash from those who support the death penalty.
Look what they did to all these other people.
But hoping for some last-minute changes, the group brought more than 150,000 signed petitions to the governor's office.
The governor was aware of the rally today, and he respects the viewpoints of those who gathered out here today, but he also more so respects the families of the victims who've had to live with this nightmare for 20 to 25 years.
We are still waiting for the governor to decide whether he will grant clemency to several death row inmates who applied. His office says he is reviewing applications and doesn't have a timeline. Erica, thank you. I was there alongside Erica today as Damian Eccles arrived at the state capitol steps. And when he was first asked to come to Arkansas to fight against the mass executions, he initially said no out of fear. But he reconsidered, saying that his voice must be heard, and he brought star power with him. An international media swarm as Damian Eccles arrives arm in arm with his friend and movie star Johnny Depp. In the moments before he was set to speak to the hundreds fighting to stop Arkansas's 7 scheduled executions, he spoke to us.
Feels like my heart's about to beat out of my chest right now.
Nervous, he says, as this is the first time he's been home since his release from death row.
This is where I was born, and when this happened to me, it sort of stole home from me. It took my home away from me, so maybe hopefully this will bring, some sense of closure and resolve for that, and I won't feel this sense of fear and trauma when I think of Arkansas that I do now.
That's because in 1994, Eccles was convicted of killing 3 West Memphis boys and sentenced to die for the crimes he says he didn't commit. In 2011, after 18 years on death row, he negotiated an Alford plea, which allows him to assert his innocence but plead guilty to avoid greater punishment. Eccles walked off death row.
I think if not for the Alford plea, I would probably be on this list of people they're killing today.
At 6 tonight, I interview Johnny Depp as well, who also addressed the anti-death penalty crowd today. And we hear more from Eccles, who says he is concerned at least one of the men scheduled for execution Monday is extremely mentally ill based on what he witnessed on death row.
And while efforts continue with rallies like today's, some Arkansans like Governor Asa Hutchinson support the executions and are confident they'll go on as planned on Monday. The first two men scheduled to be executed are Don Davis and Bruce Ward. Davis has been on death row since 1992. Here's what Davis said to THV11 10 years ago about his crime.
I am not proud to be here. I will be the first one to tell you I am very, very ashamed.
Davis confessed to shooting 62-year-old Jane Daniel, execution style, inside her Rogers home in October 1990. Bruce Ward, convicted in the 1989 murder of 18-year-old Rebecca Doss. Doss was working as a clerk at a convenience store. Ward arrested after a police officer saw him walking away from the convenience store restrooms where the officer found Doss's body.
The executions are now just 3 days away. THV11 will continue to bring you both sides of this very complex issue. You can watch all of our stories providing context and background.
And all you have to do is head to THV11.com and click on the section Arkansas Executions. And don't forget to also sign up for THV11 push alerts through our mobile app, and you're going to be sent notifications with breaking news situations.
Sure has been a beautiful day in Arkansas. We did see a little more cloud cover. That humidity also sticking with us. In fact, it cranked up a little bit this afternoon, so it did feel a little warmer than the actual temperature. As we head into the evening hours, I do think we'll see less of that cloud cover. Let's go ahead and take a look at Live View Max. We are seeing what we call cumulus clouds, and they kind of look like popcorn on your screen there. We even saw a few little small lingering showers across areas of far northeast Arkansas. Temperature of 79 degrees currently in Little Rock, 81 for Hot Springs and in Russellville, as well as in Mena. And that heat here to stay with us at least the next 7 days. As we head into your evening hours, temperature of 73 degrees. By 8, we'll eventually clear out. Winds out of the southeast, anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour. What I'm calling patio weather once again for your Friday. Tomorrow, another chance of showers, and then on Sunday, I'm talking about Easter rain. I'm timing that out, as well as talking about impacts for Easter Sunday coming up in just a few moments.
All new at 5, there is a new police chief on the job in Jacksonville. Jeff Herwig took the oath of office this morning.
But an arrest from years ago has some in the city saying he should have never taken that oath. And THV11's Rolly Hoyt is here with that story.
Craig and Dawn, the new chief has already vowed to win the respect of his department. He already has the support of the city's mayor, who is sticking his neck out for him.
I'll never betray my office.
My integrity.
My integrity.
My character.
My character.
Of public trust.
Of the public trust.
New Police Chief Jeff Herwig vowing in a formal oath to not betray qualities some in the city say he's already betrayed. On Christmas Eve in 2000, Herwig left the scene of a crash in Tyler, Texas, where he was a sergeant on the police force. He reported the car stolen, but an incident report says he told fellow officers he had been drinking. He pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor.
I'm not going down the negative road. Just not today.
Mayor Gary Fletcher says Chief Herwig stood out early from the 31 candidates who applied. Even after learning of the incident, the mayor has enthusiastically looked past it.
I see a person that has a vision, has a direction, and has energy. I see a strong person here.
But some in the city cannot look past it. Don Shriver has been phoning city leaders all week.
Really concerned me a lot. You know, I'm really disheartened that our mayor and city council could actually let somebody like this actually swear in today.
Now, coming up at 6, hear what Mayor Fletcher says are the real reasons behind people like Shriver, why they won't support the new chief, and also what Herwig would have to do to win over people like Shriver.
Thank you, Rolly. Just days after an internal affairs investigation is launched in Jefferson County, a corporal there resigns. The sheriff accepted the resignation of Corporal Gerald Canada yesterday. His resignation comes amid an administrative investigation after he allegedly discharged his weapon during a domestic battery call, hitting the suspect. He is a 7-year veteran with the agency. His letter of resignation did not cite a reason for his resignation.
A Central High student is accused of robbing two classmates at gunpoint. According to Little Rock Police, 2 Central High School students told a resource officer they were selling candy and chips when they were approached and held at gunpoint. The incident happened on South Schiller Street. Police searched the accused student and didn't find any weapons, chips, or candy.
It is the holiest of weekends, carrying wooden crosses, singing hymns. It is all about Good Friday celebrations. Orthodox Christians holding a procession along the Via Dolorosa in the Old City of Jerusalem today. The groups are retracing what they believe is the route Jesus Christ took to his crucifixion. The route leads to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and along the way are the 14 Stations of the Cross.
And the Way of the Cross annual processions are also being held all over the United States today. Believers and religious leaders around the country taking part in the annual procession wherever they are, emulating Christ's walk to Calvary. A huge group attended the procession across the span that connects Brooklyn to Manhattan in New York. The Archbishop of Chicago led the Walk for Peace there. The cross carried in this procession says, "Stop shooting." The group paused along the way to remember the victims of violence.
And the weekend is looking cloudy with a small chance for showers. Meteorologist Mariel Ruiz with details in the forecast.
Plus, the road to a better community leads to a ranch in Saline County. It's all about second chances, how this facility is helping young men aging out of foster care. Coming up.
Road to a Better Community, brought to you by M&B.
More than 5,000 kids are in foster care here in Arkansas, and many grow up without the loving care of a foster family.
Well, one group is expanding its program to help teens before and after they reach the age of 18. THV11's Jamal Goss joining us with a story.
Well, programs handling foster kids offer homes until the child reaches 18. Then they're left figuring out things like finding a job, managing money, or even buying a car. But staff at Second Chance Youth Ranch is opening its doors for more boys aging out of the program.
We're opening a brand new transitional living program for boys who are aging out of foster care.
A new foster home opening up for boys ages 16 to 21. Director of Operations for Second Chance Youth Ranch, Rachel Hubbard, excited to welcome 4 additional foster kids into their new home in Bryant.
When you turn 18, you're kind of done and you don't have any help, and it's time to change that.
Currently, there are 6 homes with 4 to 7 children living in each one. Hubbard says each home comes with things most foster kids never have, like love, mentors, a bed, or most important, a stable environment.
We have a couple who lives here at this home with the boys. Their names are Tony and Lauren, and they are just like parents to the kids who live here.
I was 13 when I first came to the ranch.
Paula Hubbard, now 23, remembers being in the same boat as the 4 kids now living here. She says the program, extending its age range to 21, helped her manage money, get a degree, and buy her first car debt-free.
This program is extremely important because a lot of kids in foster care don't have the support and encouragement of foster parents other than the ranch.
The girls' home for 16 to 21 has been open for a few years now, and they tell me that hundreds of kids have left and become successful and stable. Right now, they work with 32 kids, and like all nonprofits, there's a way you can help. There's a link for that information attached to this story below.
Thank you, Jamal. Well, this weekend is the Natural State is here. We are packed with events all over the place, big ones including the Arkansas Derby.
Yes, plus details on the annual sunrise service and a night to honor the Brothers 3. More THV11 News at 5 is next. A lot of activities to choose from this weekend in the Natural State. We want to tell you about some of them anyway. Tomorrow, April 15th, is the International Food Fest. You can enjoy the sights, sounds, and tastes from all over the world right here in Little Rock. The event will also feature vendors, craft booths, live entertainment, and activities for kids. It's from 11 to 5 at the Huda Academy near UA Little Rock. Admission is free.
Oh, one day to go, y'all. Oaklawn set to close down the 2017 season with a bang tomorrow. The $1 million Arkansas Derby, the headline race featuring the champion 2-year-old of the year from last year, Classic Empire, shipping in for this race. He's the favorite in the 12-horse field. There are 12 races on the card, and they start at noon in Hot Springs. In all, on this one day, $2.7 million in purses will be passed out. Highlights from today's Apple Blossom card tonight at 6, the race for older fillies and mares.
On Sunday, you can join thousands of others on the banks of the Arkansas River for the annual community Easter Sunrise service. The Interfaith Worship Service is sponsored by Pulaski Heights United Methodist Church. There will be choirs, a dance ensemble, and an Easter message. The service starts at 7 a.m. at the First Security Amphitheater. The offering will go toward the nonprofit El Zocalo Immigrant Resource Center, which helps immigrants here in the state. In the unfortunate event it rains, the service will be held under the River Market Pavilion.
It's a night honoring one of the world's best-known musical groups.
I'm Morris Gibb. I'm Barry Gibb.
And I'm Robin Gibb, and we're the Bee Gees.
Sunday, the Recording Academy celebrates the 40th anniversary of the landmark Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, and it's the 50th anniversary of the Bee Gees' first hit. Current artists will perform some of the Bee Gees' biggest hits. The last living Gibb brother, Barry Gibb, will join them. Staying Alive, a Grammy salute to the music of the Bee Gees, airs Sunday night at 7 right here on THV 11.
I'm going to be singing Staying Alive now and after I just heard it. That's one of the songs that sticks in your head. I love it.
Oh my gosh, after being a DJ for 30 years, they were such a large part of the inventory we played in the 70s, and it's one of the reasons why people actually began listening to Top 40 on FM.
And your favorite song?
Yeah.
Staying Alive?
Yeah, all of it. All of the above.
All right, well, Weekend could be a lot like a Bee Gees song. Still Waters, maybe?
Well, how deep is your forecast? Next. I've still got the Bee Gees on my brain, so I'm saying, Mariota Weeze.
Dancing my way through this forecast.
This is too much.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we'll get you to your weather. Lots of big events happening this weekend. Tomorrow, be prepared to see an isolated shower or two, a high temperature of 80 degrees, 79 for Easter Sunday. I am expecting a few storms to roll through in the afternoon. Don't cancel any outside plans, but definitely have a backup plan just in case. That rain here to stay through Tuesday.
All right. Thank you, Mariel. Thanks so much for watching. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you after that.
Bye.
Thanks for watching THV 11 News. Stay connected to the THV Information Center 24/7 on your mobile device and with the THV 11 app for your iPad.